I think I started recording. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, for example, this is just an example structure. So RoboSensei itself is an organization within RoboSensei. So like I said, every entity has to be an organization. Under RoboSensei, there can be children, which could be other organizations like schools, could be Learning Point. Actually, the SCC, for example, could be underneath Learning Point, for example, right? And under Learning Point, there could be schools, or there could be other dealers. And there's other dealers, there can be schools underneath the dealers. So as RoboSensei, I can see these organizations. I can do a little bit of support activities for all these organizations. But for example, we cannot see the content that you create. We don't have access to the content that you create. However, the information can flow from top to the bottom. So all the content we create, like curriculum, etc., can be made visible to the downstream organizations, but not the other way around. So for example, any content that Learning Point wants to create and make it available to all its customers should be created here. So then you have a way to share that content with your customers. Similarly, if SCCI creates some content on their own, it belongs to their organization, and they can pass it on to their customers. But for example, Learning Point will not have access to that content. So it's this is a very important concept. Before you start onboarding schools, etc., you need to have this structure mapped out, and maybe you want to discuss with me just to make sure that we have the proper structure before we implementing or onboarding the schools. So I pause here for a little bit. Are there any questions? Also, if you have any questions along the way, just raise your hand or speak up. Okay, I guess no questions there. The second thing is good for you to understand a little bit is what type of roles that are available in RoboSensei. There is an org admin role, is the administrator for the organization. What they can do, they can create rooms and assign teachers to rooms. They can also get a Teacher Pro license if they like to. They can reset passwords for users in the organization. There is no license required to be an org admin. They just need to be added as an org admin, and that's about it. You don't need any specific license. Then the main Teacher Pro license, which also gives you all these administrative features, plus all the other teaching facilities, curriculum creation, making assignments, the dashboards, everything. And of course, the student license essentially can only receive assignments. There's nothing else. They can access assignments. challenges in competitions. They can make join requests, etc. Nothing else is available there. And a dealer, which is relevant for some of you, is a separate license that allows you to create child organizations. So like we talked about, any entity is a child organization here. So this is a child organization. This is a child organization to Learning Point, and this school is a child organization to SCCI. So these the entities that you can create, they are governed by a license. So if you have 50 child org licenses, that means that you can create 50 child orgs. So for example, if Learning Point gets 50 child org licenses, Learning Point can, from the 50, they can assign some of those licenses to SCCI, for example. So let's say the Learning Point assigns 10 licenses to SCCI. The Learning Point will be left with 40 remaining, and SCCI has actually now 9 remaining because they've used one license here, and Learning Point will have 38 remaining out of 50 because 1 and 2 licenses consumed. So Learning Point needs to, in order to have a child organization, I cannot create SCCI. If I create SCCI, SCCI will appear here at this level. So you don't want that. So Learning Point should create SCCI organization, and if SCCI has customers, organizations, schools, SCCI should create these suborgs, and you will be able to see your child organizations, and you will see later on you can actually intervene and log into their organization and to provide support, etc. So that's the roles inside the RoboSensei. So the next big activity is, why am I having this big? How do I minimize this? So the next important thing that you need to do is once you create an organization, you need to get users, students, teachers, administrators, everyone into the into your organization to be to be meaningful. Otherwise, there's nothing you can do. Not very useful. In order to do these steps, you need to have an organization admin or a teacher license. Either you need to be an org admin or you need to be a teacher to be able to get users into the organization. How do you get users into the organization? There are 2 ways that you can do. One, you can ask all your users to go to RoboSensei registration page and just create their own account. If you have a small group of students who are maybe who know how to create accounts, etc., you can ask them to create an account. So when you create an account in RoboSensei here using the register menu, by default. They don't belong to any organization. They are just floating users. They are not yet assigned to tied to any organization. The second way that you can do bulk import, if you have a classroom or a school, big school, you can get all the students in at one time, is using an Excel import. We will see this. I will show you, I will walk you through in RoboSensei how to do this. But just remember that if you have a one or two users, few users, you can just ask them to create the account. But you can also use the Excel if you have a lot of students. So once they register user account, you need them to join your organization so that you can actually access them, make assignments, give them licenses, etc. So the way to do it is you can ask users to join your organization via join request. So we will see that also, how to do that. You will give them your organization ID, and um, they will uh, they will enter the ID in the join request, and then you will see the request and you can accept them into your organization. Or when you import users using Excel, you can specify the organization there itself. So all the users you can, while importing, also add them to uh, your organization. Once they make a join request here, they still are not added. There's one more step. The org admin or the teacher has to accept the request. Once they accept the request, then those users will be added to the organization. Once admitted, those users are accessible in the organization for participating in assignments, receiving licenses, etc., etc. So once you have the users on board, naturally the next step would be to assign necessary licenses to the new users. So student licenses, teacher licenses, etc. So regarding the semantics of the organization and the users, a user can only exist in one organization at any given time. The user cannot be in multiple organizations. However, users can be in multiple rooms in a given organization. They can also be in rooms from different other organizations. So we will see that this is typically, if you are getting someone from outside temporarily, they are not in your organization, you can get them into your room and thereby you can interact by making assignments to them. We can also switch users from one organization to the other organization. If there is a change for whatever reason, they will simply use the join request to join the new organization. And once it is accepted, they will be removed from the previous organization. So let us just actually see how we do this. So we talked about, so let's go. So I'm a single user, new user. Let's create a new user. Let's say student. example, say n student 1. It's my email. For example, password, I'll say student 5. So I copy this email so I can log in. So, so this user has created an account. As the user, I log in. I can log in as soon as I create an account. Anyone can log in, but they don't have anything to do. I don't also belong to any organization. Now I want this student to join my organization. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to, I'll open a different browser so I can open RoboSensei as the name. I'm gonna log in here. Let me log the student in this one here. I don't even know what's the password. Okay. Perfect. So I logged in as a student. Now here I log in as a teacher or the org admin here for a demo organization here. So so I want to, so this is, if you see the person icon here, if you have any doubt where you are, etc., you can click on that person icon. You will see your user ID, your organization name, and your organization ID here. So I want this new student to join my organization. So I'm going to go, I have to give him this code and ask him to put a join request. So let's go to that student. So the student now to join request, enter the code. So now you can see RoboSensei's found organization, demo organization, join organization. So the student will say, yes, I want to join. So request is sent successfully. So now I switch back to the teacher account. If I go to assignments screen, you will see there is a join request tab here. This is in the assignment screen because typically this is the screen that you are going to be. So you can see the join request coming in here. Sometimes, if you're already on this screen when the student makes the request, you won't see it. So just switch the menu just to refresh it. So you got the join request. Now you can open the join request. Join requests can be to join an organization or to join a room or to join a challenge. So they can make requests to do any of these. So in this case, there is one join request for the organization. So I click on that. I can see who made the request. And then, when the request was made, etc. So if I choose to, if I don't want that user, if I don't want to take the user, then I will reject. I will select and confirm. But in this case, I want to accept. right? So I want to accept and confirm. And that's it. So now that user will be now will be in my organization. So that's one way of getting users into the organization. If you have few users, what if you want to get a large number of users, more like in a classroom setting, etc. That's where you go to user import menu. So there is an Excel format template that you have to follow to import users. You can, using the download template button, you can actually get the Excel template from here. So I say download. It is downloaded. Now let me go to downloads. Delete those. Delete. Move to trash. So this is the file I just downloaded. So let me open that. When you open that, you see that there are two tabs in this Excel file. One is user data, other one is instructions. Instructions gives you what you have to fill in each of the column. So let's go to user data. There is some sample data here, which you can just to see what data you need to fill in. So the first column is the email. You want to put the student's email, first name, last name, country code. Here you have to put 2-digit ISO country code. For Nigeria, I think it is it NI or NG? Let me check. Say 2-digit, 2-letter country code. Nigeria. NG. So this is what you want to remember for your students. Here's my Excel. So in your case, you just want to put NG for all your students. So these are, let me go change them to, I'll just add NG in the front. So the names can be same for different users. Obviously the email has to be unique. So I changed the emails so that I have new students, player. So here, if you say, do you want to, when you are importing, do you also want to add that user automatically to your organization? You say yes if you want to add them to your organization. Typically, you're going to say yes here because you're importing into a particular school. So which organization that these users will be added to is the organization that I'm importing from. So for example, right now I am doing the import, right? So I am in demo organization. So when I am doing the import, I am importing into my organization. So let's go finish up the Excel file there. So I have that. You can specify a password, either the same password for all users or different passwords. If you don't specify anything, it will put a default password for each user. I'm going to that. You can also, while we'll discuss that later. You can also put the users in a room while you are importing. But if you are importing lots of students, maybe you don't want to do all of them into one room. Maybe you can create rooms and then import users directly putting into the. We will see that as well later on. So I said these two users to add and this user no, not to add to an organization. You're not adding them to any challenge, so you can put zeros there. So you can also see in the instructions what you are supposed to put. This is also the default password. If you don't put anything, all the information is here. So now that we have the save that file, make sure you save after you make changes. Now let us go and try to import those users. So first choose a file, which is this. So I got my file visible here. Then I can say upload. So you can see it says we have successfully imported 3 users. It's giving the email and the name of the students. So let's just see. So what we did here, just remember what we did here. We put the player 1 and player 2 in our organization. Player 3, we said don't add to any organization. So now let's go. Let's log into this player. Let's log out. Let's log in as that player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fine. So let's go see the profile. You can see the player 1 is already in the organization. But remember the player 3 we did not add to the organization. So if it keeps logging. Hold on. Let's log in as player 3 and see what happens to player 3. So player 3 also has an account has been created. So player 3 can log in. But if you go and see the profile here, see the name and the email, user ID, but the organization is NA. I don't belong to any organization right now. So like we talked about, the user can, if something happens, they can always go to join request, and we have to give the user our organization ID, right? And the user, the student or the new teacher can punch in that number and ask to join. So that's how you can import users into your organization. Okay, hi Kingsley. Yes, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, I want to ask with the import, the template for to import the emails, the email column. Can they be dummy email? Must they be real email?
Yeah, it can be
Because
a be email. It just have to be in the format of an email, like at something.
okay,
But yeah, you
okay,
can just say yeah at learning point or yeah.
okay, okay.
For
Yeah,
example, yeah. So the ones that I have used are dummy emails
okay.
you made.
Because some of these schools, the people who might be pitching out might be, maybe in grade 4 or grade 5, so we don't expect them to have emails. So
Correct.
yeah, so okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a good question. So once you let's see, where's our presentation here? So obviously, once you do that, the next thing that you will do is assign licenses to the students, right? As you please, students are teachers. So for example, I go to do that, I go to as a teacher or as an org admin, you will have access to this licenses menu. So you go to licenses, and let's see if yeah, I think it needs some refresh for some reason to see the new users I found. Oh, okay. And okay, so let me create it. There is before I assign the license, just going to show you how to create rooms and put the users in a room. So why do we want to create rooms and put users in a room? Room is just a logical group of people. It can be students, teachers, a mix of students and teachers. Anyone can be in a room. So typically, a teacher, want to create a room for a class, for example, fifth grade, A period, B period. However, they divide the students into groups. You can also subgroup them and put into um, groups, but this is called rooms. So, but it is just a collection of students. So if I want to create a new room, I simply go create new. Um, let's say Nigeria room 1. Um, you can add other teachers as administrators for this room, but let's skip that for now. So you create, room has been created. You can back up. Where is so here is your room. You can go add students. I think the email starts with G. So we had these 2 players. Remember that we imported 3 players. 2 of the players we added to the organization. So that's why we are only able to see the 2 players here. So let me put those 2 players, select them and then put them into my room here. So you can see here I have 2 users in this room. Here you will see who created this is the name of the person who created the room in your organization, because multiple people can be in your organization and they can create rooms. And if they share their information with you, you will see their rooms, etc. So you will just see who created this. For example, this was created by someone else. So I have 2 users here. I can anytime go back and add or remove users. I can also edit and change the description, etc., add admins, etc., to the room. So that's how I group it. So I can create as many rooms as I want based on the structure of the school. So it's important to think about, map it out on a paper, what rooms you are going to have, who is going to be in each room, etc., before start creating these, just to make it easier to organize your students. Then we go to licenses. I should be able to choose this room. So you can look for users by room. You can also have all users and be able to search. I have to see why somehow those users are not showing here. So that's why I went to the room. 1 second. Okay, I was taking some notes. Okay, so I have these two users. Let's say I want to give a student license. So I have 0 student licenses available. So as a RoboSensei organization, I can give licenses to this. So let's go. I want to give a student license. So let's walk through the license giving part, which you will be able to. Okay. Okay, we'll go to the, I guess that's going to confuse the description or the presentation now. So let us finish it. Let's just give that person a teacher license because I don't have student licenses here, just for the sake of showing you. I can give a student license, a teacher license. I have 2 available. I've selected the user and assign license. License assigned successfully, and you can see here my licenses have become 1 from 2. So I have 1 remaining. One as student has got a license that gives him my assignments screen. Now, so far what we have done, we have been able to get users in, and we also have assigned them necessary licenses. Now they are fully ready and prepared to participate in the learning expedition here. I will pause here for a few seconds, see if there are any questions so far. Okay, excellent. Now let us see what we do next. What we want to do is we talked about the managing rooms, right? Let us see how one can join. So we can put. We talked about how to create a room already. How to add users, we have seen that. You can go and select the users, but we can also have students request to join a room. So let me show you how we do that. We remember we have the user 3. Not that one. This player this player, remember we left him without adding to our organization, and we have not added him to our room. We could not see him when we were adding users to the room, but we can ask, this user can join a room in your organization. So the user still goes to the room, join request. What we give him in this case is, I go to my rooms. I want the user to join this particular room. So you select the ID, you give this ID to the user, and the user enters the ID, and the system knows that this is a room. So it just shows that, hey, we found the room, and you say, the user says join room. So a join request has been sent. And if you're a teacher, right, you come back to your assignments screen, you see there is a new join request here. And this time it is for rooms. So there is one join request for room. Actually, you see that there are many rooms here. So you need to further inspect which room has join requests, right? So you see that this room has one join request. You can go there and accept. So the same process. Now, if you go to this room, you can see that there are 3 users now. Previously, there were 2, and you can see that 3 users there. Okay, now you want to give them some assignments, right? And let's look at how do you administer activities to the students. So let's go back to our presentation here. So curriculum templates is an important concept in RoboSensei. Is as the name says, this is a template that you can create and keep and reuse it for various students, various rooms, and this templates, if templates that RoboSensei creates, they are all available to you all. Similarly, this is what I meant by the content sharing, etc. So if let's go back to our organization structure here. Any curriculum templates that we create, they're all available to all the children. And if Learning Point creates some custom your own lessons, activities, and they belong to all the child organizations, and the process goes on. All the schools can see it, all the sub dealers can see it, etc. So let's go back. So you can use the curriculum templates that we provide. You can directly use them. If there are some teachers or organizations that are more explorers and they want to create their own lessons for a specific purpose, they can create your own curriculum templates, and that you can use across your school or to pass it on to your child organizations. So how do you create how do you create? So in order to know, we need to know what is in a curriculum template. Let me see. I'm trying to find if I have the, yeah. So what does the curriculum contain? Curriculum contains 1 or more missions, 0 or more quizzes, that goes with it. Let's say you have 5 missions, then you might want to test them to see, assess their understanding or the how much they have learned. So you can use quizzes to do that. And you can also have 0 or more challenges, like a small competition within the classroom for that particular module that you are creating. So, so we need to have missions, we need to have quizzes, and we can turn any mission into a challenge. What do you need to create a mission? You need to have a track, and then you need to build a mission from the track, and then you can include that mission into the curriculum. So that's the steps that are outlined here. So you want to create a track, if you want to create your own custom lessons, and package that track into a mission. Optionally create questions and quizzes, and create curriculum template by selecting your missions and quizzes. And once you have that, that's available to you, you can assign that template to any number of rooms, any students in your organization. So let us quickly walk through how we do that process here, in case you want to. So this, things get a little advanced. Let me know if it's getting overwhelming. We can pause here. How are we doing? Are you following, or is it too much?
No, it's okay. You
Excellent.
can, yeah, it's
Okay.
okay.
So we talked about creating our own templates. The step 1 is create tracks. So let's go to create tracks. You want to go to track bank. So when you go to track bank, you will see that the tracks are separated, grouped into 3 groups. Tracks that are line following type of tracks, that's underlined. The amazing type of tracks are under amazing, and there are tracks that are based off of grids in the grids track. So here you are seeing all the tracks that are created by this organization. Pretty soon we will also enable so that you will see all the tracks that are created by RoboSensei also here, just to be able to see. So you can copy them and modify them. So I want to create a new track. Let's say I want to create a new amazing track or grid track. Any track, I will go to this plus sign here, which is actually create new. Select that. I give a name to my track. I'll say NG1. Let's just create an amazing track, for example. And you choose what's the width of the track and the height of the track in tiles. So it gets multiplied by, I think, 280 or 210. So it gives the total track size. There is some rule here you need to follow. For line or amazing, dimensions must be odd number. So you have to put in odd number size here. So, and always try to use the same dimension on both ends so the display is proper. So create. So now I have the canvas here where I can create the track. So I can say, just using this, you can create so many. Let's say I start here. I want to go here. Now I want to take a 90-degree turn. So this turn is actually going up. I actually want it to come down. So I can rotate that. You see that by double clicking, I can rotate that track piece. Now I'm coming down here. So I can I can rotate that and come down. Now I want to, let's say I want to actually have a curve going to the right. Do that, and I can come down. Let's say this is the end. So I have now built a new amazing track in less than a minute. So now I want to actually place the robot here, right click and choose place the robot. Once you place the robot, you can change the direction. You can use the rotate. You just have to do one step at a time. So I can rotate the robot in any direction I want at the starting. Then the next step for you is to define the milestones, which is basically telling what is the path that the robot should follow. So I want the robot to start from here, and then actually you can see the guide here. The green color shows what are the cells you can select for the next, because they have to be contiguous path. Sometimes you will have the robot can go in multiple directions, then you will see more green ones. So you can here you can only select the green one. So it's actually pretty straightforward. So select that one, select that one, that one, that one, that one. I reach the end. So now I have my track defined. I can also see there are 55 points total because each milestone is giving 5 points. I can change the points. I can also say I want actually 100 points for all this. So I enter 100 and it actually divides the points among the milestones so that you get 100 points. You can also say, I want the robot to actually come back, turn around and come back. So you simply see the green light here. You can simply start. We have a new Mr. Adesena joining. Second. Okay. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Fine.
Welcome, Mr. Adesina.
Yeah, sorry for coming late.
No
No
problem.
worries.
The good thing is
Yeah.
that there will be a video. There will be a video recording, and you'll be able to see what you have missed.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so we were just showing how to create your own track if you choose to. So we defined the path, but let's say you also want the robot to come back to complete the mission. As you can see, it's pointing you to the next green. You select that. You see the double circle. It's telling you that there are two paths there. You have to do the double path. It's just sharing is a little slow. Yeah, I think my computer is meeting it. So, and you come back here if you choose to, right? This is now showing that the robot has to come back. You can do anything. So let's say you don't want those, you can actually remove those paths. You can tell where the robot needs to come, etc. Okay, so just to keep it simple, I'm going to remove the reverse requirements. This is a standard RoboRev challenge. So I save my track and I just go back now. Now, if I go to the amazing, I can see the track that I just built, right? I have my track here. Now, what's our second step? So once you create the track, what you're going to do, you're going to put that track into a mission. So this is actually A second, let me get some water here. The way this is structured, it's actually very helpful because you can use the same track and create multiple missions. So for example,
controller was not very happy. Soon, Rocky had lifted Percy and Steve back onto the tracks.
Mr. Debanjo, welcome.
You have
You
caused
can mute yourself.
confusion and delay.
I
You
can.
will deliver Percy's.
Okay. So you can use the same track into multiple missions. So the structure is like this. Let's say you have, that's your track. Then let us change this to be transparent. And this is your mission, the big circle. So mission contains the track. What mission specifies is, in addition to the track, it specifies what type of coding you can use to solve that mission, what are the minimum points, how much time, and some of the rules. So for example, you can take the same track and create a mission that says you can only use blocks. So students, when they're doing that mission, they will only have access to blocks. You can also say for the higher grade students, you can say they can only use JavaScript. Then what you can do, you can tell the students to use JavaScript, but you can also create a mission that only has JavaScript option. That way, it forces students to use the JavaScript to solve the same track, but by just simply wrapping it up in a new new mission. So now that we created the track, let us see how we put that into a mission. So I go back to my account here. So I created the track. Now I want to put this NG1 track into a mission so that I can use it in my curriculum. So I go to Mission Bank. So when you come to the Mission Bank, you will see again 3 slices here. One, the missions that I have as a user, I have created when I log in. The login username here is demo org admin. So you see only missions from demo org admin in this tab. In the My Organization tab, you will see your missions and missions created by other teachers in your school if they shared with you. So there is an option for teachers to share their content with other teachers in the school. And if someone shared with you, you will see those also here. You will see everything that you have access to that belong to your organization. All the missions, for example, somebody shared with me, so I can see their track, and then it also shows, in addition to my missions, it is showing me something that was shared with me. You can here also see a ton of missions that are created by RoboSensei. There are a lot of those that you have access to. You can eventually be able to. So so that's how you see it. So now I want to create my own another track. So I go to create new, another mission. I go to create new. This is a number of pieces of information that you want to fill, but it's not that complicated. So let's start with giving a name. I'll just give NG1 to it. Easy, medium, you can choose anything. It doesn't have any specific significance right now. The public and private here, this is important. If you say public, and if you are a dealer, this mission can be accessible by your customer organizations. If you don't check that one, they cannot see these. You cannot pass on this information. You can change this flag anytime by editing it. You don't have to do it at the time of creation only. Time bonus. If you want the users to get a bonus point by when they complete when the robot completes the mission in a shorter time. Let's say I gave 120 seconds duration here. 1 second, let me write down some notes. So if the robot only takes 100 seconds to complete the mission, then 20 seconds becomes 20 bonus points. So you want the system to assign those bonus points or not for this mission, you can decide here. So here is the coding type. You choose which type of coding option will be available to the students once they launch the mission to code. So let's say in our case, we want only the blocks to be available. You can also make all the options available, or you can make any one option only available. In this case, number of laps is going to be only one. If it is a fast bot, you can specify how many laps you have to do. Then you want to choose the track that goes with this mission. And so you choose the plus icon here. And let's search for NG. This is the one we just created. So I double click on it, and that brought the track here into this. When you bring in the track, it also gives you the track ID. When you bring in the track, it automatically populates the minimum points from the track, maximum points in the track, right? You can change that. You can say, I don't need my students to get 100 points, maybe 90 is enough. You can say 90. You can also, I don't know if you can also say 110. Maybe I want them to do faster, maybe in 110 seconds, so they need to get 10 more points. So you can change the points however you like. The points that the students have to achieve so that the dashboard shows green color. So I created that, and I don't know. So here is another important check for sensor use. This is normally you want to set this to false. If you set it to true, which you typically do for line following and fast bot challenges, when you set it to true, RoboSensei will ensure that students are not using improper code. Like students can follow a line by simply adding a number of move commands, right? Move, 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 move. Instead of using the sensor. Without using the sensor, they can pretend like they are following the line because they can see the line. They can move the robot in different directions. To catch those things, you can say check for sensor use. Then what happens is if the student is using incorrect method to follow the line, they will lose points. The system will, every time they use the delay based move command, it will reduce points from their score. So that's how you can automatically catch that. So for the amazing, you want to be able to do time moves, so you leave it false. So I have specified everything, and you must specify some instruction here. Okay, navigate the robot to the end. Make sure you stay on the track. That's my instruction. and I save. So I have now created this new mission right now. I can always go back and edit it. I can see the track, which is probably, but what I can also do, not only I can actually see how that looks when the student logs in. So I simply click on this purple NG1, the name of the track, and I can actually see what the student sees. You can see here that only Blockly option is available. If I go back and say, let's go edit, I also add arrows here and save. And I see here now, I can see the arrows is also available for the student. Now you can see how that works. So as a teacher, I can actually see that everything is okay before I, assign it to students. So as a teacher now, I can just get that and see that the robot is moving. Yeah, I get the points, etc. Yeah, this looks good. What I also want to do is if I want to show my students how to do this mission, etc., I might have written some code that I want to save if I come back later on. I don't want to every time create the same code. So I will use save mission button here. So let's say I also want to change my robot to that one. And I have my code here. So I say save mission. You see a green pop-up, quickly come and go by. So now all your settings and everything is saved. Now you go back. Let's just say I go to Colombia, just go to some other mission, go back to my mission here that I just worked on. So I go back to this mission. You can see that it remembers the robot. It also remembers my code that I put in for this mission. So for each of the missions, if you do some work, preparatory work, you can save it. And when you open that mission, you will see your code. Here you are in a you're not actually saving you're not doing the exercise because you're not doing an assignment. So even though you see the points and everything here, there is nowhere that they get saved. So it's just for demonstration purpose or for you to test things out. You see the full student experience and what the student sees, etc. And whatever instructions you put, they appear here if the students want to see the instructions. So put some good instructions here, and you can put instructions in any language that they will show up in that particular language. If you have a keyboard with able to enter different characters, French, whatever, you can do that. Now I have created my own mission. Now let me create my own curriculum template. This is what we are talking about. So this is an asset that you can keep on reusing. So how do I create a curriculum template? So again, create new template. I'm just going to say again, Nigeria 1, and I must put some description here. Here, you're going to choose which missions you're going to have in your template and which quizzes you're going to have in your template. So I click on the missions plus icon, and I can see, let me see if I have my, where's my mission? Not even, Okay, I don't know what happened, but you should see your mission here. Maybe I need to log out and log in. Let me see. I will make sure that we fix that. Mission requires login. Let's go back to curriculums, create new. Let's see first before we do that. We gave the mission name as NG1. Don't know, for some reason it's not showing up. So anyway, so assume you see your mission or other missions. So you can choose any of the missions that are available here. I choose that one. By the way, the things that you see with the I, crossed I, these are old legacy tracks. I would not choose them. The new tracks will be like this, like that. So I have that. I choose one and say OK. So I have that track here in my curriculum templates. So I create my curriculum G1. I can also optionally add quizzes to this. So I can choose this quiz. So I have a quiz and I have a mission. You can have other additional more missions in here. So I have formed my curriculum template and I save it. It's successfully saved. You go back. So you have your curriculum template here. So what we did now is we created mission. We didn't go through, I will show you how to create new quiz just now. I skipped this one, but what we did is we created a curriculum template by adding a mission and quizzes. Let's show you how you create your own quiz. You go to first, quiz contains a question. So you want to create questions. There are a number of questions that are available here. You can use those in your quiz, or you can create a set of your new questions, right? So say your question is Nigeria 1, for example. You can say it's a single select answer or multi-select answer. I'll just leave the and then you add an option. What are the answers? You can add as many options as you want. So let's say option 1, option 2, option 3. You are actually forming the question, and you also need to tell the software which one is the correct answer, so that the system can automatically assign marks to the student. So let's say this is my correct answer. I select that and I say create. Now I have my question created here. So I can go to now create my own. There are quizzes that are already available, but I can also create my own quiz. So do that. You want to go and select the question. So your question and some other questions, if you like. You have 2 questions selected. You give an assessment name, Nigeria 1. You say how many minimum points. I said 2, and give the instructions. Complete, answer all the questions. Create. So you have your own quiz. So that's how you can create your own quizzes and use it in the templates. So we have done all this now. We have created our own templates. Now we can actually assign the curriculum to the students. Again, you don't have to create all these things. You can use the existing ones. But if you want to develop your own content that belongs to you, that you can license out to other people,
Yes.
right? You can create. So now let's look at how we assign and look at the dashboard. So what's the student experience, etc. So let's go. Now I want to go to assignments. I have a curriculum. I have created a room with my students. Now I can make an assignment to them. So go to assignments and create new. And you can load your curriculum from a template, or you can also go and pick individual missions that go into that assignment and quizzes. But let us try to use the template that we created. So go to load template, and we just created this NG1 curriculum. So I select that and I choose it. Now I can see there was one mission in that curriculum template, and it shows up. It also fills in the title and the description from the template. You can also edit that. So here you are actually creating an assignment set. So you want to provide the start date and end date for that mission, date and time, so that tells when the students can access, start working on the assignment, and when they must complete. Same thing for the quiz, when the quiz opens and when the quiz closes. I'm going to leave that as it is and save it. So I have now created my assignment. I go back, and in my assignments, I see the new assignment I've created. You can see here that it is not assigned to anyone. So no rooms assigned to this assignment. So now I want to assign this to students. So I go to this people icon here. It shows me all the rooms. So my room is NG1, right? That is the room that I want to assign this to. You can also assign this to multiple rooms, or you can choose the room that you want to and say, OK. So now you can see that this is assigned to room 1. So there were 3 students in the room. So all these 3 students will get these assignments. Let's go and look at our dashboard now. You can see the room NG1 and the assignment NG1. We called it edited. You can see that the 3 students in that room have these assignments. Both are open, available, and they have this assignment. You see that 2 of the students have lock icon and 1 student does not have the lock icon. What this is indicating to you is, if you recall, we had assigned the license to only player 2. We have not assigned licenses to player 1 or player 3. So here it is telling you that these students don't have the license. This is for your indication, so you can go back and try to assign licenses to them. So let's see, let's go back to licenses if you want to fix it. Our room 1. Let's assign a license to. OK, first you choose the license student. I don't have student licenses, that's why I did not assign. But if you were to have them, you can choose them. I assigned a teacher license to one student, so that's why you have that. Let's just assign another license to player 1 also. Okay, now we have 2 of them are good with this license. 1 player does not have the license. Let's go back and look at our dashboard now. Now you can see the player 1 and player 2 have no problem. Player 3 does not have a license. So this is for your information. Now the student logs in. Let's go. The student log out. Let's log in to the student. We logged into student 3. This student actually has the assignment, but they see the lock sign because they don't have the license. So they can tell the student can actually inform the teacher or the administrator that they are not able to access the license. Student also has the quiz that we have assigned, but that's also showing lock, so they cannot access until we give them the license. Let's go to a student who has the license, and that was NG, let's say player 1. In this case, I gave them the teacher license. That way you see all these menus. Otherwise, they will see very few menus. And as soon as they log in, they go into this screen. So this student has license. So you can see the mission. You can see the track. And similarly, you go to quiz. They have the ability to open. Now, what the student does, I can go click on that. And they have the mission. And I can go, let's say, write some code. I get some points. I got 10 points. And I want to make sure I save. Maybe I go, let me see, let me make it faster. I go change my tires, for example. Where is it? Tires. Monster tires. I also want to add the bump sensor, whatever, I modified it. And I go back to my code and I run it again, see if I can get more points. Now I'm getting the same number of points, but I'm done for now. I should save the mission so that it's saved for me as a student. When I come back 2 days later into this mission, the system will remember your code and bring it back to you. And also, once the student saves this code, the teacher will be able to see the code. It also remembers all my robot settings, etc. So whenever there's some changes, all the student needs to do is just push this button, nothing else. They don't need to give file names, etc. The other thing that you want to see here, the info button. Remember whatever the instructions we put in there for the mission, they will appear here. So we want to provide good instructions in that field. So I'm done for now, and I go back. You can see here there are 3 points. It says 75 points is what you have to, the minimum points to pass, and maximum points anyone got for this mission anywhere in the world is 10, because this is a new mission. Nobody else has access to it, right? So 10 points top score, and here is my score. I got 10 points. In fact, I am the top scorer here right now because those two are same. So that's why you have that. I can also go and do my test here. So I go here. As you can see, what happens is, as a student, I can say how many infrared sensors does Explorer robot have. Let me just say, for example, none. That's wrong. I don't know the correct answer. whatever. What's the value of the infrared sensor? I'll say 0 to 100. What happens is, as the student makes these choices, RoboSensei automatically saves their responses. They don't have to explicitly save the answers. But once you are done with your exercise, student needs to submit. Once they submit, it closes for them. They can no longer open it. But until then, they can answer it. Maybe they want to come back to it. They can close. We make some note here. Some improvement note. Okay. So I can go back to my, maybe I want to do the mission again. I go back, you can see it remembered all my robot, all my code, everything. I don't have to retype it. So I might do something else. Maybe I want to turn it right a little bit here. It's too small. So go to 20. Maybe I want to change this to 3 seconds. Let's try this. The robot is turning, but it is too late, right? Maybe I have to modify my code, but I just want to save my code here. I do that again and I go back. Now I want I want to go back and continue to do my mission, my quiz. So this time, what's the range of the power of a motor? I don't know, I say 1 to 100. But now, actually, I think I am done with my assignment. I must submit. So I will push submit button. So I have submitted my quiz. I still have not completed my mission. I have done it partially. Go back to my quiz. Here you can see that I can no longer open the quiz because I have already submitted my responses. Now, as a teacher, you're a teacher who made the assignments to the students. So let's just refresh the screen by say going back and forth. Now you can see that that this student has got 10 points, right? You can see it here. And the student also has some points for the quiz, right? You can see the progress, current progress here, but they're still not green because they have not achieved the minimum points. So now you want to see, I wonder what the student, how did he got this 10 point? What is his student's code? So you simply click on this points and the RoboSensei opens and takes you in guest mode into that player's code. So you can see the code that the player wrote, and you can see the settings that the robot settings that the student used. And as a teacher, you can actually try that code here and see what the student did. It does not impact students' code or anything like that. You can even modify this code. It does not change students' account, but you are just seeing students work here. Just imagine how useful it is for teachers to see any student work for any assignment with one click. If I click on this, I will see this student's score for that assignment, work for that assignment. Similarly, the student also did some quiz. He has submitted the quiz. I want to see how he did. So you saw that, right? What I did, I clicked on the points here. So now I am seeing, okay, in review. Show name student. Okay, now I can see that now I can see that so the system automatically assesses to know what is the right answer. This is based on what the teacher has set. In this case, the teacher actually has set wrongly. None is the right answer. The student chose none. So green here indicates the right answer, and the check mark here indicates what the student chose and if it is correct. So this is correct. Got a point there. Second one, the right answer is 0 to 100, and the student also chose 0 to 100, so that's why they got 2 points. For the third one, the right answer is minus 100 to plus 100, but the student chose this, which is wrong. So you can see very clearly what student did and what is actually supposed to be the right answer. So that is the dashboard. So if you have multiple rooms, you can choose the room. For example, this is another room. You can see that room, and if you have multiple assignments in a given room, you can choose those assignments. So for example, here in this case, 10 is showing green because 10 was the minimum points, and that student got that minimum points. So if I go here, you can see that student's code and what they did, and you can run their code, etc., in guest mode. By the way, while we are here, we got some new blocks here. You can, for example, draw a triangle. Let's say height 2. And you want to actually add a draw function before that, then this robot will draw a triangle. You can change the angle of the triangle. Let's just do that. Now the robot tries to go the other direction. Obviously, it's hitting the wall. So you can change that. Similarly, there is a rectangle function, and there is a any direction motion, so you can move the robot in any arbitrary directions. If you see here, these are only always 90-degree moves, north, south, east, west. Basically, that's the things that you can do. We also have like the 45 degrees here, but this gives you any arbitrary angle you can move the robot. So for example, if I did that, on move steps, so I was moving 30 degrees. Oh, sorry, there's a block here, so that's why I was going straight first. So it's going in 30 degrees. So I just wanted to show you since we are here. So that's the dashboard that allows you to see. We talked about you can have some of these challenges as competitions. When you check that box and make them into competitions, obviously you have a dashboard here that you can see. So that's how you actually manage the assignments. So we covered basically all these things right now. I think that's mainly what you will need to do. If you are going to be a dealer, I think maybe Kingsley, we can cover the topic separately, how you manage dealers and how do you create organizations. What do you think?
If you want us to assign this separately or what, or if you want us to treat it or.
No, I can. I mean, do you want me to cover that aspect also here?
how to assign the, yeah, you can. You
Okay.
can.
How
Yeah,
to
you
how
can.
to create organizations, etc.
Yes, you can.
Right. So for that, I need to give me a second. I got some accounts. I need to go to another organization. Just going to stop my screen. So actually, we've gone for about 2 hours now. Can we take a 10-minute break? Everyone,
Yeah,
loosen up. And
yeah.
it's so we will so it's 07 now. 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Let's join back on the 20 minutes past the hour. That'll be 12 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we'll join back at 20 minutes past the hour. That'll be 12 minutes from now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds good.
Noted.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can stay on the meeting and come back there.
Okay.
That'll also allow me to. I need to get some credentials to show you some things.